Hello everybody and welcome back. This is our part one of teaching the 2x2 leaf pole method for our pups. And I'm going to use my non-agility dog here, Jezebel. She's learned a little bit. You might have seen her in a few other videos. But we're going to break this down into the basic simple parts to start with. So what we want to do is we need a target plate. And again, I think I've mentioned this before. These are just little silicone pot holders. You can get them super cheap. You want to set your two weave poles. So you've got your 2x2s, right? You want to set them straight. So it's just this nice straight channel, and you want to put your target plate right past close to the end, right? So the reason is we want to get our pups used to driving straight through, and they've got a target to shoot for from that target plate. All right, let me go distract. All right, come here. All right, so the way we're going to start this game is we have our 2x2s, we have our target plate. I have a treat on the target plate, and I have my little volunteer here, Jezebel. And you want to line your dog straight up. Make sure you don't have any treats in your hand because they're just going to be distracted by that. We do want them to drive to the target plate. And we see the plate. Ready, 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 ready. Get it. No, where's it at? Get it. Yes, good girl. And drive them to the target from there. And we just want to keep repeating this several times. Ready? Oops, oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Come here. And we want to make sure they're close because we want to avoid them doing that. We don't want to reward them for going around that pole, right? So sometimes we might have to move it closer. Ready, ready, ready. Get it. Yes. Oh, goodness. You missed. Get it. Right there. Good girl. Yay. But then we just want to keep moving that target plate back farther and farther. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Good girl. Get it. Get your treat. Get it. Good girl. So we're just going to have them go straight through the poles, which is what we want. Good girl, Desi, Desi. Go get that one. You ready? Ready, ready, ready? Yes, get it. Good girl. Until they realize driving straight through, they get the treat. Now, again, you want to do this slowly, incrementally. She's done this game a few times, so she knows to go between the poles. But if your dog is failing, going around the poles, just bring the treat plate a lot closer. Make the dog successful, you know. Put it right here if you need to. So it's just there, and get them to drive to that treat plate. We just need to get them comfortable with driving between these two poles and getting the target. And you don't have to build up to the target being super far away, but you probably would like to build it up to maybe being a foot and a half, couple feet back, so they're driving out a little farther. But it doesn't have to be like feet away. That's not the object. So it's just giving them somewhere to drive through. And then if you want, you could eventually take the target plate away. You're like, ready, ready, ready. Yes, good girl. So if they're offering the behavior on their own without a target plate, yes, yes, yes. Yes. Then you can just do that. Make sure the dog's working on both sides of you. Yes. I don't care if she's coming back through the poles at this point towards me. Yes. The object is just to drive away from me and go through those two poles. So that's the starting phase. So we're going to kind of build from there. And what you want to do is you want to kind of think of these two poles as being 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So as I'm standing here, with the pole on my left side is 6 o'clock. The pole on my right side is 12 o'clock. You might want to even put green tape or make a green marker on the 6 o'clock pole. Because, like I said, remember, you always want the dog to enter with the first pole on their left shoulder. So the next phase is we're going to start to rotate the poles, okay? We're slowly going to start turning them, slowly, incrementally. Don't get in a big hurry to turn it straight like it's eventually going to be, right? So you can just slowly turn it. So we're going to turn it just a little bit. Ready, 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 ready. Yes, good girl. Toss cookie. And she goes. So we want to keep doing that. And again, you just still want them going straight. Okay, everything still needs to be straight in this line. And then again, you want to make sure you're doing it with the dog on both sides. Ready, ready, ready? Yes, good girl. And then, like I said, slowly start to turn these. Don't be in a big hurry to get them straight, okay? And just remember as you're turning them, okay? The our 6 o'clock pole, right? The one I told you to put green tape on, a green marker. It's in your left hand, and you are turning it counterclockwise. So 6 o'clock pole in your left hand. Slowly turn it counterclockwise because where we want it to be, right, is eventually 6 o'clock facing you, 12 o'clock straight up. All right. I hope that makes sense. If you need, I can put a diagram in the description as well. So that's the goal, is to get here, right? But we want to do it slowly. So we're going to go back a little bit. Just. Ready? Yes, good girl. And I'm not sure how far she will go because we haven't done this in a while. Ready? Go back here. Ready, ready, ready. Yes, good girl. And you want to make sure you're doing this with the dog on both sides. So practice doing this on both sides. Yes, good girl. And like I said, slowly start to turn them. I will tell you, when you get the poles at about 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock in relation to you facing them, that's when it starts to get harder. That's when we start to see failures, and that's fine. No big deal. Don't get frustrated. Just go back. You've just pushed the envelope too much. And don't expect to get all of this done in one training session. Break it down. Do straight on for a few repetitions so they get comfortable with it. Maybe turn it a little bit in that first training session once they understand the game. Then let it be. Come back another day, the next day for training, turn it a little bit again, work them again, make sure you're working them both sides, and make sure that you're also not like right here on top of it, right? We want them to go ahead independently in front of us. Come here, Jess, get that cookie. So we need to be back away from it, right? Oh, look, and see, she wrapped around it. That's too much. That's not the behavior I wanted. So I'm going to open it up a little bit. Give me, sweetheart. See? Yes, that's the behavior I want. And I'd probably stay there at that level for a while, quite honestly, with her. I'm just moving it ahead for demonstration purposes. So I turned it a little bit more. Ready, 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 ready. Yes, good girl. Awesome. And I will tell you, when you're learning this method, when the dog is on your right, it's a little easier and more obvious for them to make the correct entrance. Sometimes. When the dog's on your left, it might be a little hinky. Depends. Some dogs get different ways about them. So I'm going to push the envelope again. Like I said, don't get in a hurry to do this, but I'm doing it for demonstration purposes. And I'm just throwing reset cookies behind me to get her to drive. Ready, ready. Yes, good girl. And make sure you're tossing the treats forward. If you're not using a manners minder, a treat dispenser, or a target plate out there, make sure you're tossing that treat far enough forward. And we'll do it on the other side. Ready? Yes, good girl. Awesome. So our end goal, obviously, right, is that we have the first two of these 6 or 12 poles, and they're in a straight line. And if you've done your training correctly and you got it, yes, good girl. They're going to enter pole on their left shoulder correctly the way they need to do it. And you want to make sure you're on both sides. Sometimes when they're on your left, it's a little harder. Ah, see, it's a little harder on the left side. They have to think a little bit more. Come on, just. So maybe back up, give them a little more room. Whoops. So we're not getting it, right? So she's okay doing it on my right side. She's not so good on my left side. So that gives me great information. I need to turn this back open. And I need to come back and I need to work her on my, whoopsie. I need her to work on my left side more. Yes, good girl. Awesome. So you're going to find out a lot about how quickly your dog learns, how quickly they get bored maybe, but incrementally. Don't push this. It's just a great way of shaping these first two weave poles, which is what we want. When we shape our dogs in a teaching learning environment, they learn quicker and they also retain it better. You need to learn more patience. That's the big thing with shaping, is that it's more time on your part, but it pays off volumes in the long run because your dog will just, it sticks more in their little brain. The little neurotransmitter, it makes that connection all the more better in their memory. So work on this. And like I said, just be cautious of how you're turning the weave poles. I would really strongly encourage that you either like write 6 on this one and 12 on this one, or paint the 6 o'clock one green, and always make sure the green one needs to come into you. So green is 6, this one's 12, because like I said, this is pole 1 and 2 of 6 or 12. And then we will show you, once you can get good at that, and they are proficiently doing them straight on, how you can build up to adding the additional poles, but also how to actually work and train the entrance, how to make sure they're hitting the entrance to the weaves. And that's a really critical step in agility as well. And it's one of the hard things about learning the weaves, in addition to them just staying in 12 poles and weaving them, actually hitting the entrance and being able to stay in the poles. So we're going to cover that in a later video. All right. Happy training, everybody. Thanks.